Hi, I'm Lola Forester. Welcome to Jab Jabber. Today I'm speaking with Professor Kelvin Kong. Well, hello, my brother. How are you?
I'm fantastic. Thanks so much for having me on your program, and it's always lovely to catch up.
Can you just let everyone know your name, your title, and your mob?
Sure, Professor Kelvin Kong is my name. I'm an ear, nose and throat surgeon coming to you from a Wabakal country today, but I'm a proud Warramah man from Port Stephens, north of Sydney.
You've been tirelessly in promoting COVID safety behaviour throughout this pandemic. What's the most important thing for First Nation people to understand right now?
Get vaccinated. I can't stress the importance of how important it is to continue in this program that we're going in, making sure that we wear masks, making sure we keep our distance, making sure that we look after everything. If you haven't been vaccinated, get vaccinated. If you're thinking about it, get vaccinated. If you're not sure, get vaccinated.
How effective are the vaccines at stopping serious illness and health?
Certainly stops it. It doesn't prevent it 100%, and you still can get sick even if you have the vaccination, but the number is very small from that point of view. And so it's really important to get that message across there that vaccination is a really good way of stopping serious illness from occurring.
How safe are the vaccines?
We know through our Therapeutic Goods Administration that the vaccines have been proven to be safe and effective. They're absolutely being tested appropriately. The other part of that, which is how bad is it if you get COVID? Now, getting COVID is far worse than any kind of mild symptom you may experience from vaccination.
In your view, what makes people hesitant to get vaccinated?
I don't believe, certainly in my community, in the conversation that I'm having, that there's a lot of hesitancy. I think that's a mass media kind of perception that a very small proportion of us are getting amplified in the voices. When in actual fact, our mob is very proactive in vaccinations. Our mob is very proactive in looking after each other. And so when we're talking about vaccinations, look at our general immunisations rates. For our community, our people are far superior at getting vaccinations for our kids than others.
Also, as we know English, we have English and then we have Aboriginal English. Do you think the word is getting out there appropriately in the language that our mob understand?
I think it's getting better at that. And certainly some of the programs that I've been involved with, it's a highlighted question. And we need to make sure that language and people understanding what's happening is part of that as well.
Okay, now health workers are now obliged to vaccinate to protect themselves and the people they care for. What do you think of this policy?
Absolutely, I think it's very important. I think it's important because we are looking after a very vulnerable group. Your decision to have a freedom of choice is your decision. But when you put yourself into a predicament where you're looking after other people who are unwell, who are immunocompromised, who have other health issues, who have older family members with lots of health issues, then that's a lot more responsibility you're putting on yourself. You're not looking after yourself, you're looking after a whole community.
What about those young people who don't want to be vaccinated? And if they don't, can that be passed on to their parents and, other people in the community?
Yeah, so the argument has been in this area that some of the young people don't get as sick as what others do, and I think that's reasonable to assume that. The problem is that the effects of that beyond there are quite bad. I look at there's a little kid I looked after the other week who was quite immunocompromised, who can't get the vaccine. Now, the parents really wanted the vaccine because they're worried about their kid passing away from this. So it's so much more important for us around it. Our obligation to help this child is for us to be vaccinated to protect this child as much as possible. And that's really important for us to put that in perspective, particularly for community mob, where we're looking at our bigger family circles, that we want to look after our aunties, we want to look after our elders, we want to look after nan and pop. We have an obligation to them as a community member to make sure we're vaccinated.
When you get the vaccine, how long will it take for it to really kick in so that you feel comfortable going out and mixing with other people?
It depends on, what we're trying to get at is get an immune response to make sure that you can fight the virus or have less effect of it. The second dose is obviously the more important dose than the first dose because there are people who are getting unwell after the first dose, but not severe. When you have that second dose, your immune system kicks right in and gives you the ability to actually ward off the chronic or the severe effects of it. And so you need to wait for that period to occur. Just because you're being vaccinated doesn't mean you can't spread this virus. And that's really important to note. So if you're around someone who's immunocompromised, if you're around someone who's unwell, if you're around nan and pop and they're not well, stay away from them. You still need to practice mask wearing, washing hands, keeping a distance for those that you're worried about.
Great. Kelvin, thank you very much. Too deadly, my brother.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.
That was Jab Jabber, an interview series produced with support from the New South Wales Government.